Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Transport Fever, the UK series, or the British series, or the UK modded series, or whatever you want to call it, because I have not come up with a definitive name for this yet. Now, in the last episode, I know I'm saying this is episode 1, and I've got a last episode. Last episode was episode 0, just an introduction. I just went over the map and some of the plans I had for it. We went over all the cities. I told you which cities I know and recognise and where they are in real life, and the ones that I had no idea where they were. And we just went through some of the plans that I have for the series and what I have done thus far and what I'm going to do going forward, perhaps at the start and then building it up. Now, of course, this is a UK series, so you're going to expect a lot of British things. In fact, almost everything should be perfectly and utterly British in this. Including, obviously, my voice. Anyway, putting that aside, in this particular video, what I want to do is focus on this area here. So you can see that we've got a Bracknell, Carnforth, Atlesborough out there. So in this area, you can see that there are a lot of farms. Now, what I want to do is I want to make this as British as it is, and that means placing farms in between these areas as well. So the farms do not just sort of surround themselves around the actual industry, but we have farmland in this entire area. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this particular video. Now, in addition to that, what I'll do is I will, after the introduction, give you a demonstration of how I'm going to do it, and then we're going to jump into a time lapse so that I can get as much of this done within one episode as not to spend 4 or 5 episodes doing this. So make sure you stay tuned to see some farmland grow and of course see a time lapse so that things get done in a timely fashion. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this particular farm set. Now, the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be deleting farms like these. And I'm going to be pulling up, of course, my trusty maps so that I can have some satellite views of some farmland in the UK. That makes all the sense to me. So yes, we do have some square-like farms, but the majority of farms tend not to be square in the UK. We have maybe strips that are square, so maybe like a line like that, and then everything else would be curved around it, and that is what I'm trying to, or that is what I would like to capture. Now, each farm I'm thinking is going to be around this size, and we're going to obviously try to connect farms up. So in fact, before I sort of continue, I will do this. So let's do that and that, and I'll leave that one. Let's get through that 1, 2, 3. Just going around deleting any farms that I think are good. I'll delete all the farms around there. That one can go as well. These 2 can disappear. We'll get rid of that. I do not want that one. Now, I could place these farms down myself if I wanted to as farms, as assets, but they are a little bit awkward when you start doing that. I feel that they do not give me the flexibility that I would like. Right, where am I? Up here. This is where I need to be going. This area is going to be interesting. I'm not sure what to do with farms in this area. And then we've got this one. In fact, I will get rid of all of those farms there. That's one, and that's one. That's one, and that's one can go. And then over here, you, and all the farms across on this side. In fact, I'll do the same for, let's do all the farms opposite. Like so. Okay, so that is in this area all the farms down and out. Actually, farm here although I'm probably not going to be connecting up to there just yet. And there we have it. Okay, so then what I'm going to be doing is we're going to start by going to these assets menus, and we're not going to be adding more farms. That's the thing, we're not adding actual farm industries. That would be silly. We're just going to have far too many then. I will go over to landscaping, and apparently okay, so somebody taught me the use of the eraser tool, so I think I made a mess up somewhere here. I cannot remember where it is, and I made a mess up, and somebody kindly pointed out that you do have an eraser tool available for you to use, and I will be certainly making use of the eraser tool. I have no idea where this mess up was. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to start with assets, and which one should I start with? Let's start here, because this area looks like that could be filled up rather nicely. Now, one thing that I am thinking that I need to do is perhaps create a road between here and here. So I'm going to create that before I do the assets. And I will... I do not want the road to do that. I think what I will do is I will do... just do that, and then... oh! No. No parallel roads. No. That was a mistake. That is going to come in handy at another time, but not quite yet. Okay, so I would like to... what I'm going to do is just follow the curvature roughly of what I see on this terrain. So you can see the terrain's going around something like that. Something like that. And then I'm going to obviously make it wind its way up the hill. Like that, and continue winding your way up the hill through a pitiful excuse for a thicket. It's not even a thicket, it's just, well, that could be classed as a thicket perhaps. I think it's a thicket, the word, possibly. And then maybe not there. Let's have the branch out here. Oops. That's no good. That's no good. So I'll do that. There we go. Okay. So we've got this other road that's done, and then I'm going to connect this road up as well, and that's where we've got plenty of room for our farms to grow. That's it. Where does the contour go? Somewhere along there. Looks roughly straight, slight downhill perhaps like that, or slight curve there, and then this is where we're going to have a bit of a problem. I think about there is probably our best bet. Okay, great. That's a fair amount of roads. Right, now what I need to do is start building the farms on this. So clearly we want to put some farmland into all these different places. So let's, for example, go here. I'm going to go to this, and I have the options available to me for, is it this one? Now we have two options. I've got the opportunity to do something like this, which is rather awesome, or there is an erase tool, which I'm really glad that somebody pointed that one out. Or I can go to railways, which might be the easier one for me to do. And is it railways or roads? Sorry, roads. And go to trees. And look at that. We can have bushes between things, or palm trees, which we're not going to have. But I think these bushes, or trees like this, or things like that. Not the palm trees one. So either this, which looks rather nice, or this, or something like that. That's what we're going to do. You go away. So let's begin with just some simple. Right, so we've got either I want these bushes or these bushes. I think azaleas are quite nice. Yeah, let's do that. Right. So, for example, I could, as an example, do that, and then I will essentially create the bush line. And to do that, I'll use the terrain. So I'll use this to guide me roughly on what I'm going to do. So I'll do maybe that and that. Hey, look, we'll sort of end a. Some of the lines, obviously, you're going to want some straight lines on these, and it's difficult to. The only problem with this is it is going to be rather difficult to connect certain things, and then this could, in effect, that is an entire farm, and that is what I'm going to be doing. So if I now get rid of the terrain, I can now follow this along. I'll do that. That all the way around, go on, nice and simple. No. And then what we can do is we can delete these when it comes to it. We can delete these and fill them up with better things. Now, I could, if I wanted to, say, well, hang on a minute, I want to break this field into two like that. There we go. And then I would like to create another field, but this field actually is going to do this, and then it's going to go around like that and like that. But halfway through this, we're going to have a break, and then this one can connect roughly like that. So once I've got that, what I'm going to do is I will go over to the paint tool, paint, and we'll pick a field. So let's go for example, farmland, hops, large, and I'm just going to paint it in, just like that. And obviously if it goes over the edge a little bit, it doesn't matter because we'll be cleaning it up. But I'll try not to have it go over the edge too much to avoid additional cleaning. So there we go, like that, and then I'll make the brush size much smaller and do that. There's one field. Hey, look, let's do ploughed farmland. So I'll just go along the edge of this, along the edge of that. There. There. And fill this all up. And there's obviously, if there's a mistake, I can now use the erase tool and perfect. And that is essentially what I'm going to be doing. That is the entire purpose of getting these all this farmland made. And it might not look perfect at the start, but I'm going to try and make it look as perfect as I can. And obviously we'll be coming back to things, redetailing things, fixing little bits and bobs, and making sure that everything looks as I want it to look. So I think without further ado, I think we should. You can see that looks really, really nice. That genuinely looks like actual farmland, and I'm actually really rather pleased with just those 3 farms just there. So without further ado, I think I'm going to start the time lapse. Enjoy. And there you have it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse. That took quite a few hours actually. In fact, I'm just going to see if I can check how many hours that's taken. I think it must have been 2.5 to 2 hours 45 minutes, something like that, I think. So it has taken a fairly long time. So that would be probably about three episodes, or in fact, no, it'd be more than 3 episodes, wouldn't it? Probably be 3.5 episodes worth, all crammed into one. So here we are at one of the points. What I'll do is I'll just I'll use the camera manager to take a look around different areas. So you can see out in that direction there's a farm. I think it's quite nice to perhaps be sitting here looking out like that, and there you go, you can see all the farms and everything that is in place. And of course the farms extend out over this way, so you can see it out here as well. And there's another farm. There's a farm building somewhere out there. But yeah, this is what I came up with. Let me pop out of this and let's take a peek around here. So you can see that it actually isn't a lot that I ended up building. So I did manage to build between these 3 farms, but you can see that between this, all of this still needs to be filled out. All of this still needs to be filled out at the very least. So that is probably another, I'm probably looking at another 2-3 hours work to do all of that. I did manage to get fast as I was going along. The other thing that I've learnt is that some of these textures look terrible. So you can see like the potatoes at long range. Some of them look terrible at mid range. But all of them look absolutely fine at close range, as you can see. So there's no problems with things at close range. So what I do need to do is perhaps try and figure out how to get these to look a little bit better when I'm taking pictures like that. I've also figured out which ones I can and cannot use. So obviously all the grass colors are there. This one's quite nice, this soil one. The wheat one is perfect. I think the wheat one is the best one there is. The corn one is very good, but if you have a look at some of the much larger patches, you can see that there is a tiling texture to it that needs to be addressed. Any of these that have these ploughed field-like textures, so the potatoes, the hops, the just the ploughed field in general, where's the ploughed, like one of these, they're all problematic at mid and long range, unfortunately. And then I've learnt that I can use something like alpine grass to give me this kind of grass color, which is nice as well. Some of these will be populated with animals, so perhaps that's one. This one here, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We'll put some animals in there, so that will be quite nice. I wasn't 100% certain what to do around this lake. I've tried a slightly different tactic here, giving it a little bit more space, and I'm actually going to steer rather clear of the lake, and I might do something else on this when I get to it. But there we go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the time lapse. Again, this has taken a very, very long time to do. But that is the nature of things, it seems. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, the UK series. This is just the beginning. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Did you enjoy the time lapse? Do you think that this has all panned out rather nicely? I think it has, and obviously the entire map is not going to end up like this, but I think that this was a good start. Also, if you can support me on Patreon, videos like this, as you can see, take a very, very long time. So if you can support me on Patreon, please do consider doing so at www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ECGadget LP for both Twitter and Instagram. I'm actually rather pleased with how this has panned out. So that is all from me, and next time we are not going to be focusing on the farms. We are actually going to be focusing on another part of Britain, and that is lots and lots of forests. So I'm going to be doing an episode all about trying to get some forests placed in a number of places and then see what we can do from there. So thank you very much for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for episode 2, where, well, I think we're just, as I said, I'm going to place in a whole bunch of forests, and then we'll work from there. Certainly see what we get. Maybe it might end up being a bit of a mix though between forests and farms. I'm really not sure. We'll have to see. I will see you next time.